two relative minimums there, but it has only one x-intercept. And the x-intercept looks like it's at -2. Let's confirm that. It is. So now that Desmos has given us an idea of where to look, we can check in our list. -2 was one of our options, wasn't it? So we've saved a lot of time that way. Let's jump in. So let's do that. We checked Desmos again, and this time we got -2 as an x-intercept. Can't see it, there it is. Since -2 is an x-intercept according to Desmos, let's check it with synthetic division, save some time. So this is going to be a 9, a 30, 14, -16, and 8. I didn't skip any terms, right? So that was the fourth power, third power, second power, first power constant. So no zeros are needed there. I bring down my 9, multiply, I get -18. 30 minus 18, 12. Multiplying gives me -24. Adding 14 and -24 is -10. Multiplying is +20. Adding is +4. Multiplying is negative. And adding is, yeah. Desmos didn't lie. So now I could say this is a 0, and because it's a real number, it's an x-intercept. So my polynomial in factor form, I could begin writing, what would be my first factor? Well done. Factor theorem at work. Times whatever's next to it. Let's take a look. 9x to what power? Third power, yeah. Plus 12x squared minus 10x plus 4. Now, one of the things we haven't done before, which is why I really want to show you with Desmos here, what happened. We haven't seen a repeated 0 yet, have we? So right now you look at this and you think, okay, it's degree 3, so I definitely could go further, we're told. We can go to linear or irreducible quadratics, right? So I could try factoring by grouping perhaps, that might be a good option. Another thing that I could try though, is to look at the graph, if I have technology like I did, and see what happened at the x-intercept, right? Did I touch and turn around, or did I go through? That's a little clue. If you go back, let's take a look one more time. At the x-intercept, what happened? We touched and turned around. That means the multiplicity is even or odd there? Even. And the smallest even number? 2 in the whole number system. In the natural number system, rather. So since 2 is our lowest possibility, and we had degree 4, we could say, well, is it true then that this is a repeated 0? Well, if this was a repeated 0, then wouldn't x plus 2 have to go into this piece? Right? So what could I do? I could do synthetic division again. But this time, on the new guy. So here I would take my -2 again, since we think it's repeated. It had an even multiplicity because it touched and turned around. It touched at the x-intercept. It didn't go through. I'm going to do -2 into what I just got as my next factor, right? 9, 12, -10, and 4. Let's see how this plays out for us. We bring our 9 down, multiply and get -18. Adding, we get -6. Multiplying, +12. Adding, +2. Multiplying, -4. Yep, we confirmed it. It went in there. Yes?
There's the only way to do this is if you have like technology.
Right. Otherwise, what you would have had to do is you could have tried, again, by hand, checking whether or not any of these numbers goes in here. Right? Do any of these numbers go in here? And the one that would be -2. So this is the faster way for sure. But if you didn't have this, that would have been all they had left, to check all of these numbers again and see if they go in here. It's very tedious. That's why if I have technology, I'm going to use it. But on a test, I won't give you ones that you have to check so many numbers. All right. So let's take a look at where this leads us to. A lot of students get a little bit confused here because we already had x plus 2, didn't we? Now this means we have x plus 2 twice. So, yes, I wrote it wrong. Thank you. So p of x would equal x plus 2, or x plus 2 squared. Because we already had it this time, and now we have it again. Times 9, now it's 1 less, x squared, right? Minus 6x plus 2. So now we're at this point, and the question is, do we have to go further, right? We've already talked about the x-intercept of -2 having even multiplicity. Now there's a chance that it could just have multiplicity 4, right? If this went in 2 more times, right? That could be the case, right? But one thing you can do as soon as you get to quadratic is you can kind of press pause and say, wait a second. If you're really producing a 0, that would mean that I could set u equal to 0 and solve, right? So quadratic, you should know how to solve using your algebra skills. So take a moment and see if you can set this equal to 0 and solve it using your skills of quadratic formula, completing the square, etc.